welcome to another masterclass here at the DMEXCO. Because we want to share a lot of information with you, we start immediately now with two short introductions of our companies. What will be the topic for the next 30 minutes? The question is how Pixum, and he's the guy of Pixum, increased the data quality by 50% with using the tool JENTIS. So, Mark, a short introduction about yourself, please.
Yes. So, also happy welcome from my side. I'm Mark, CTO at Pixum now for more than 12 years. And there I had some exciting years also regarding new technologies, data-driven technologies. So a very interesting talk today. I will show you later more. So we are an online photo service, have cool photo products for every situation as a gift, as a personal memory. So we have very, very valuable moments from our customers, and this is really a pleasure to work for such a company. And we are very international. We have 11 markets with 8 languages and fantastic products.
Thank you for that. We are JENTIS. We're working since 2016 on a new tracking technology we're calling server-side tracking or hybrid tracking. We founded the company in 2020 as a classical startup. Our headquarters is in Vienna. We are totally proud. We are currently more than 45 employees, and the number we're really proud about is that currently more than 30 billion euros year per year are going through our tracking solution. So, Mark, we know that Pixum has a really data-driven mindset, and we think to understand how Pixum can take this journey they are doing currently, you should understand what is the basic of Pixum and what, how your company is working regarding data tracking and using of data.
Yeah. So first I want to introduce our order clients because we have different order clients for all the situations for our customers. So the easiest and fastest way is the online designer. You can directly create and design your product on our website. Then we have a download software. It's free, where you have much functionality, where you can a really special product you can design there. And of course the Pixum app, because what's the best photo camera at the moment? Of course the smartphones, and everyone has the pictures on the phones. At Pixum we have two very important things of our DNA. The first thing is we are very customer-centric. So we ask our customers, we track our customers, we get much information of our customers to take the best decisions. And this is, since the beginning of Pixum, we were very data-driven and have different kind of data. We look at every data, try to understand the customers, what do they expect, what are their needs, and to meet these needs, we have all our mindset is data-driven. It starts in the development. When we start to develop, every feature which is deployed is A/B tested, so that we know does it help the customer or not. And this is something, a very important thing, that we have this data available to make the best decisions. Although we have this much data, we had many talks about sales. So the marketing guys said, oh, here we at Facebook, we have so many sales, but we said, no, we don't see it in our database because it's not there. So, and then we saw these different data on Google, and this is something you lose the data, and there comes the point where we said we have to do something. And this is why we use the tool Attriba, so for attribution, so that we can see in which channel we have, which is impacted in the complete journey. So it's very important to understand where I spend my marketing money and what can I get from it. And this was something we improved our data quality. But in the end, we saw again the differences. We couldn't explain the difference. Of course, some things were obvious. legal changes regarding cookie banner. It changed the behavior of the people, and it changed the behavior of the data which we get at the end. And of course, the new systems for tracking prevention in the different browser extensions, they also, we lose data there. And this is, it comes to our mind, we have to change something. And this was the start for the partnership with JENTIS, so that we had the same idea, and we had the same goal, and then we worked together. So.
Thank you. So we started last year in summer, pilot together with Pixum to understand where this data differentiation comes from. Currently, they are one of our most loved customers, I have to say totally honestly. The question is, with JENTIS, what we are addressing. We are addressing two issues, two problems. The legal issue, I think everybody is aware about that, and the capture issue regarding data quality. Let's start with the data quality. What is the problem today? Some of you will be aware or are aware, some of you not. The problem is that we have today a lot of broken customer journeys. Everybody, I think, know what is a customer journey, so we're talking about one user with different touch points, and hopefully the user will convert on some day. What do we have currently? We have different users on different browsers with different ad blockers, with different virus scanners, for example, so a lot of different systems where our tracking should work. And the bad news today is the tracking is not working anymore in a classical way. Why? Because we have a lot of ad blockers, and the ad blockers are cutting the customer journeys. So if you think you have two users in the analytics system, like Google Analytics, for example, very often in real, it's one user. You have something like browser restrictions, like Firefox, like Safari. They're doing the same by losing the cookies. And it's not about, let's say, 5%, 10%. Something we realized with Pixum, it was about 55%. So 55% of the customer journeys were broken. And in the end, even the problem is losing data because of not giving consent. And even here, you need a solution, at least for your attribution systems. Legal regulation, a topic everybody is now in touch with if you're using Google Analytics, if you're using person-related data. And even here with server-side tracking and with the new way of tracking, we can help. How? Transfer data outside of the European Union. I think you know, guys, that that is a problem today because of Schrems 2. But there is a way you can do it, nevertheless, with server-side tracking. So the first of all, you have to identify your personal-related data you want to track. And you can, with server-side tracking and with JENTIS, you can pseudonymize this data, which means that, for example, Google or another company based in the US cannot re-identify the user. That's very important for the data protection authorities here in Europe. The second one is use server-side tracking. It's very important to have this let's say, middle machine that you are fully in control of the data and not the data receiving companies. And the last one is then really start with the standard contractual clauses, but now with really additional measures. You can use pseudonymization as an additional measure for argumenting that it's not possible to re-identify the user in the US. We have many, many customers, they are doing this argumentation in front of the data protection authorities, and it works very, very well, this argumentation flow. Lost data because of consent, and even that is a problem regarding data quality. So you see both topics, they are connected. So legal regulation and data quality, how to deal with this 10 to 20% of data you're losing because of not giving consents. So you're losing this data, you have this situation that you are not really know how the attribution works because you don't know how this 15-20% of data would attribute it. With JENTIS, we have the possibility with an enhanced mode, as we call it, to reduce the data in a fallback situation if you do not get the consent. So you can reduce the data, you can make more pseudonymization, you can make more anonymization, and for the fallback situation that you do not get the consent, nevertheless track the data to understand and to calculate what is really the attribution behind my business case. So with this essential mode, you get, again, really 100% of data. Let me show you what server-side tracking really is. So in the classical way, you are implementing some pixels as you normally do directly in your website, and these pixels are organizing the data and send the data directly to the data receivers like Google, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. The problem is how you will ever pseudonymize data if you are not in control of the data, because the data are directly sent right from the browser to the data receiver. So you are just not in control that you can change the data before you send them. The second big problem is, as I shown you with the data issue, that the cookies are just blocked. So if your visitors are using Safari or Firefox, then the cookies are away after 24 hours. So it means that your customer journey is always broken after 24 hours. And last but not least, if you're set up 20, 30 pixels directly on your website in the browser, then you have even an issue with page speed, with SEO, as you know. And even if you can reduce this pixel because the pixels are running on the server, then you have a huge advantage regarding page speed. So how server-side tracking is working, you're implementing one first-party JavaScript from JENTIS. This first-party JavaScript is organizing the data, send the data to a server in the middle instead of sending the data directly to the data receivers. And on the server, then we can organize the tracking streams, but before you can change the data. And that's so important, even for the data protection authorities. Then you can do pseudonymization, anonymization, you can reduce the data, you can enrich the data before you send the data to different tools out there in the world. So you are in full control regarding pseudonymization, anonymization. You have a better balanced front end, means reduce or the page speed will be much, much better on your side. And obviously, your internal ID will be out of the fire line because the things are now on the server, totally not connected anymore with the front end. JENTIS is a Europe-based company. Obviously, even the cloud is 100% in Europe, where the server-side tracking will run. So that is the reason why with JENTIS you can be 100% GDPR compliant and 100% ePrivacy compliant. It's always very important to have both, not just the location of the server in Europe. I hope everybody understands now, not just the location of the servers in Europe is enough, but even the company who's processing the data in the legal language, who is the data processor, must be based in Europe. Otherwise, you would have a transfer of the data outside of the European Union, and then it's just too late to make a pseudonymization, for example. Last but not least, if you're set up server-side tracking in your company, very important to be really ready for the future. You must ask for how many connectors do you have. At JENTIS, we have now more than 70 connectors to the typical pixels here used in Germany. We can produce connectors very quickly, but we strongly believe it's not a solution now just to find a solution for Google Analytics, for example, even if the data protection authorities are now pointing to Google Analytics, but the issue goes with Facebook, with Twitter, with TikTok, with all the US-based companies. So if you change your tracking system to a modern stack, you should be aware that all your market stack you're using right now should be supported. So with JENTIS, with server-side tracking, with first-party data tracking, you are solving the data quality issues, and it's working even really with every browser, even with Brave browsers and other not popular browsers, and you're really solving the legal issues regarding GDPR, ePrivacy, TTDSG, and all these legals which are in place right now. But now, the really important message for today is how Pixum really can increase these numbers. So, Mark, you will explain to us what were the actions you set based on the better data that you really can go to this result.
Yes. And what better data makes with us is really interesting, because before we had JENTIS, we thought that our normal customers, of course, it depends on which channel they came from. So on different campaigns, we have different touch points, and we thought for our standard campaigns, we thought about that 25% of our customers have only one touch point before they come to Pixum. Okay, we saw 75% is a huge number, which have much more than one touch point, so very huge number. And then the reality was that only 2% have one touch point. So this was really mind-blowing, because this was the understanding that we have nearly every customer has so many touch points before he comes to our website or before it comes to the sale. So, of course, you can imagine when the customers inform about the products and so on, then they have different touch points and see us on Facebook, or they search in Google different points where they can come from. But in the end, you have to understand what happens there. If you don't understand it, you can't measure the right things, and you can't make the best journey for the customer. So when we look at the real-world example, this was our advent calendar journey from last year. We really rethink how we can make a journey which fits to the new situation we know. We knew we have so many touch points, and to handle every touch point in the perfect journey, we thought about how we can solve this. And then we had the idea of a completely modular and flexible journey. So what does that mean? For the customer, there's always a thing there's a reason why he comes to us. Maybe it's he wants to inform about a Christmas present, and then he comes to our website and doesn't know anything about advent calendars. In this case, the journey starts with the information, which products we have, what can the customer do with the product, and then we bring him to the creation modus, and then he can create the order and get a great product. But when you think about different channels, for example, social media or Google, when we directly have an intent that we show a specific advent calendar in a specific size, then there's a complete different intent. So in this case, we completely drop the information part, and the customer directly can upload a picture. And this changed really the behavior of the customer. And the interesting part there is, it was designed for the specific channel. So when you come, for example, for Instagram and see this cool product, I want to have it, and then it has to go really, really fast that the customer can decide and buy at Pixum. And this behavior, of course, we have to understand it. And how can we understand this behavior? This is where JENTIS came in. This transparency of data was the impact that we understand where is the need in which channel, and what we have to do to fit the needs for the customers. The improved data quality had really, really a big advantage, because we now knew how much money we spent in a specific channel, and we really exactly know what money we get back from it. And this advantage with the JENTIS information, we really hired our spendings more than we normally planned, and definitely more than the year before. The comparison numbers you see here is the year before, so 2020. And we hired the marketing spendings, but the impact for the sales was more than that, because we invested in the right channels. We spent less money in the wrong channels. And of course, you test every channel. And the really important thing is that when you only have the data, it isn't enough. You need the perfect journey, and on the other hand. So, and to understand the journey, it was the biggest thing we got with JENTIS. We really had a full view of the journey. And of course, then we could improve every channel. So for example, when you have a channel from social media, we really improved also this journey. So it's not one way, so it's not so easy that you implement a tool and then everything is working. So you really need to, you need a use case for the customer. And if you are not prepared for this use case, it won't work. So the combination of customer centricity, to understand the customer, to make a perfect journey for the customer, and to have the data, that is in the end the success. And when we look at our success, it's a combination of different tools. So when you only collect the data and don't understand the data, it's not working. And also, this is not it's really an important thing, because the tools you have, they have to also interact with the social media channels, because when you have the right data and put more traffic to Facebook, for example, then the optimization algorithm at Facebook also can improve. So you have, this is not only the benefit that you know the better data, you also provide better data to Facebook and the other channels, so that they improve also their algorithms. And this together was the really success factor. So what I can give you, in our business, there's no luck. Yeah? What you can do is you can prepare for the moment. And if you are not prepared, you won't have luck. So if you want to be successful, be prepared, make the right decision, have the right data, and think about the customers, what their needs are, and then you will be lucky, because you will grow. So thank you.
Perfect. So let me underline maybe the main message you even brought here to the table, that obviously with the wrong data you cannot even start with the optimizing process. But on the other side, just to having the better data in your databases and your tools is often not enough to come to similar results than you came. And let me say, 176% revenue uplift is really a huge number. We're really proud about that we can deliver some of better data, that you were able to do that. And by the way, we had a third company involved in this test, in this pilot, which was ePrivacy, because obviously we are very lucky with better numbers. You are very lucky with better numbers. So we said, okay, let's check it from a neutral company in the middle, ePrivacy, and even they checked it and said, yes, of course, guys, you really brought 55% better customer journeys, and even the revenue uplift is correct. We have around 7 minutes left, and I would be totally happy if we can answer some of your questions. Maybe we can organize a hand microphone, please. And just a short sign with your hand if you have any questions, and we will answer it immediately. Are there any questions? If not, okay. The topic seems to be totally clear for you, so everybody knows what to do now. The Gentis booth is just some meters away from here, so either go to the Gentis booth, we will be both here for around 30 minutes, and if you have any question you want to discuss in person with us, and if there are no question, then you should even know what to do, then go to Gentis and you can buy immediately a license, because everybody understood what will be the topic of tomorrow, right? Then, thank you. We saved six minutes of additional break for you guys. Thank you very much.